Morning to Yang. It's Tuesday, the 22nd of May 2018. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom Talk, coming to you from Bracknell in Berkshire as usual. Are you enjoying the lovely weather? Once again, it's a beautiful sunny day outside. Although it might come collapsing down in this morning's mail. It says, although British people have, it says Brits. You know, it says, although Brits. Now, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to consider this a racist term. Brits. Please stop calling me a Brit. That is short for British. Now, what happens if you shorten a country's name for other people, okay, to something shorter? What do you get? And is that term considered racist? Yes. So Brits will now be considered racist, and I am unanimous in speaking like that. I am totally unanimous in, if it's good for one, it's good for the other. Absolutely. So British. I have length. I'm surprised this is in the Daily Mail. I really am. So I have lengthened it to British people, from Brits to British people, the same way as you will lengthen other words to the whole country instead of the first 5 letters. Although British people have been basking in the above average temperatures over the last few days, the balmy weather, get this, is set to be briefly interrupted by thunderstorms and heavy rainfall this week. We haven't had any here. I gather some parts of London had a bit of heavy rainfall last night, but it didn't happen here. The UK, now get this, I don't know where they get this word heatwave from. Now, when I say to you, heatwave, what do you think? What would you consider a heatwave? Probably depending what country you're in, it's going to be different for you. Heatwave for us here, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. 30 centigrade, something like that. That's a heat wave, isn't it? Well, the papers are considering heat waves at lower and lower temperatures. I swear. Look at this. The UK is set for a sizzling 10-day heat wave starting bank holiday weekend, so that's on Monday, okay, with weekend highs of 23 degrees centigrade. 23 degrees centigrade? What, that's a heat wave now, is it? 23, 46, that's about 72, 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Come on, Daily Mail. That is hardly a heat wave, is it? 20, that's a normal summery type day. That is not a heat wave. A heat wave is 90 degrees and above. That's a heat wave. 70 degrees is not a heat wave, dear. Who's writing this crap? Diane Apen Sadler for Mail Online. Dear Diane, 23 degrees is not a heat wave. What planet are you on, dear? Or do you come from Iceland or somewhere very cold where it never gets to those degrees? Are you from Alaska? Are you an Eskimo? Are you an Eskimo? There's no problem, right? Oh, you can't say that. I've just said it. But you can't say Eskimo. What's the problem with the word Eskimo? Is that offensive? Who is this woman, Diane, who thinks that 23 degrees centigrade, round about 72 Fahrenheit, is a heat wave? What planet are you on, dear? But an area of low pressure from France and parts of Spain, hola, atay, don't mind, nah. Yes, Spain will bring thundery showers to the south of England. The showers will only be brief and temperatures are set. Here we go. Temperatures are set. It's the way they write it. They blow it out of all proportion. Ready? The showers will only be brief and temperatures are set to soar, once again to the mid to low 20s. I mean, it's a bit of a letdown when you use the word soar to and then you tell us it's going to be in the low 20s. Who's teaching these people how to write? Reaching peaks of 24 or 25 degrees. Wow. Maybe 80 then. Wow. 25 degrees. You think that's hot, do you? Yeah, it is hot. But it's hardly a heat wave, is it, dear? Met Office meteorologist, I just about can get that word out, Greg Dewhurst, told the Daily Mirror on Sunday we had a high of 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and that was in Sheffield. And the day before it was 73. Usually in May we expect highs of around 63. Well, yeah, we know it's a little bit warmer than it is usually at this time of the day, but it's hardly a heat wave, is it, dear? So hopefully the weather will hold out for your another bank holiday coming up, isn't it? Another bank holiday Monday coming up. Bank holiday Monday, I shall be doing my usual karaoke at Central Station, boys and girls. Central Station karaoke continues unhindered on Monday nights. Every Monday night, 8 till 11:30. Come along, sing us a song if you want to. Okay, it'd be nice to hear your little dulcet tones singing away. Now, let's see who we've got with us this morning. Good morning, Adam the plumber. Good morning, Adam. Christina Ewing is there. Good morning, Christine. Diane Jebb there. Hello. Haja. Good morning, Haja, who's watching on one of the Learn English website groups. If you're watching on any of the Facebook groups, such as one of perhaps the internet radio groups, just to let you know, why is this show on the internet radio group? You are welcome to record it or download the MP3 of it afterwards, convert it to MP3 and use it on your radio station without even my permission. How kind am I? I mean, I'm practically giving away everything. I should be a registered charity. I need to be a registered charity. That's what I need to be. So if you ever want to record the audio of this and play this out on your internet radio stations, I know some of you are struggling around for material a lot of the time, then feel free to do so. But the only thing is, we aren't we aren't at the scheduled time every day. Generally, it's around about 9:30 in the morning, but it could be at night. I don't schedule the show at a specific time. It's as and when. So you need to set your little hello, I'm on indicator somewhere, whatever it's called, you know, the follow button or something like that. Good morning to SOS Gregorian. Morning to you, sir. Morning to John McLeod. McLeod? How do you say that? McLeod. McLeod. That's not McLeod, is it? Because it's L-E-O-D. McLeod, I would say, who's laughing his head off. Good. Keep laughing, John. That's what it's all about. Having a laugh. Morning to Jason Shaw. Remembrance and love for the people of Manchester. That's a year now. A year since those so-and-sos tried to blow up the place, didn't it? Oh, God, where's the time go? Good morning to the delightful Judy London, performer extraordinaire. Good morning, Judy. Over on Facebook, on YouTube, Joanna's there. Good morning, Joanna. Paul Mosler's there in Birmingham, and who says temperatures are rocketing in Birmingham. They went up a degree in the last 10 hours. I mean, it's so much. You'll have to switch on the air conditioning, Paul. It's going to be a sizzling 25 degrees tomorrow. It's only 80. Yeah, it's hot, but it's not a heat wave. And can we also say good morning to Maureen in London? Now, I don't know if she's there or not. Maureen has recently got YouTube. I think she's got something attached, or she might have got, I don't know if she's got a new TV or not, but she's got a smart TV and she can get YouTube on there now. And she's been watching the show live, which I don't know she's there because she can't send a message to me. Maybe we could set up some sort of text number. Can you do that on the internet? So that texts would come in. I wonder if you can... Oh, let me have a quick look. Set up... What would you call it? Text number? Text number? Text... I mean, obviously, we don't want it to be a premium rate thing or anything like that. I don't know. Text messaging for businesses... Setting up I don't know where you would look for that. Anyone know anything about that? Setting up a text number. Be very interested in finding out about that. Okay. So that's that. Scamming. Now, someone tried to scam me yesterday on my house phone. So the phone's ringing. Downstairs it is. I've got a landline here, but actually I rarely answer it. I rarely answer my landline. It's just there because when I asked, I'm with Virgin Media, and when I asked them, good morning, Luke Taylor. Morning, Lukey. Oh, lovely. John McLeod says it's spelt McLeod, said McLeod. Oh, it is said McLeod. Okay. Are you in Scotland, John? I'm just guessing. Is that like Scottish? I love the Highlands. I haven't been for years. What a beautiful place the Highlands is. Oh, you can walk for miles or drive for miles and you see no one. Just a few sheep going on these windy roads up large hills and the Highlands of Scotland. Highly recommended for you to visit. Do you know, for 4 years I've been meaning to go up there. It's a long way to drive. I suppose I could fly to, I don't know, what would be the airport? Inverness? Would it Inverness, is it? I suppose I could fly to Inverness and hire a car from the airport, do something like that. I always worry about hiring cars, though. You know, because you get the slightest scratch. Oh, that's £2,000 to repair that. You know. It's wrong, isn't it? Ross says I use my own phone number for text messaging to my show. Oh, we can't give that out, Ross. You'd been ringing me every 5 minutes. You'd become a pest. I'm sure you'd become a pest, ringing me all the time. No, I'm not having giving my phone number out on here. I had to change it last year due to strange phone calls. Strange and mysterious phone calls that were pouring into my phone day and night. I had to change it. Not giving it out again. Although I suppose I could get a throwaway phone, you know, dirt cheap, couldn't I? But who's going to... I don't know, really. I've got a spare phone downstairs. So I could just buy a cheap, you know, the thing that you put in. I could buy a cheap, what are they called? Little card, couldn't I, to put in there? I will investigate that today after I've been to Slimming World. Thank you. I want to get some stalkers. No one's going to stalk you, Ross. You have to be good looking, mate. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. Ross does his own show on Reach on Air. Have you noticed the Reach on... some of you may listen to me music and chat show. Have you noticed, Ross, that we seem to be getting a bit glitching on the outgoing stream on that? I listen back to the show on my way to work, usually on a Monday, and I keep noticing glitching on there, and it's starting to get on my nerves. Do you know what I mean by glitching? It's a little bit like that. And then there's like a gap of like a quarter of a second, which is only a quarter of a second, but it keeps happening. Are you getting that as well? Very, very strange and mysterious it is. Thank you, Jason. A SIM card. I'll have a look around and see if I can find a SIM card for there, I think. Yeah. Ross says get a cheap SIM card, top it up with a minimum amount. It keeps going for 6 months. Oh, well, that'll do us. Then if Maureen or someone wants to text into... Because they might want to join in, mightn't they? These people, I think they might want to join in with the show while it's live, so I could get that, and that would be another little avenue of participating in the show. It's a shame. Can you not just get something for the computer so that when people send a message, you know, like a text message, rather than having it come up on the phone, it can come up on the computer? Oh, I don't know. Ross has told them. Yeah, I've told them as well. We're having a problem with that. It's a bit annoying, really. Never mind. Okay, so yes, BT call scam. So the downstairs phone, I don't use it very often at all. I don't usually answer it because it's usually someone ringing up because they think I'm a butcher's. And they're trying to order steaks or bits of bacon or stuff like that. So I answered the phone. Oh, good morning. Is that Mr. Reardon? Yes, can I help you? Yes. Oh, hello. This is British Telecom here. We've noticed that your router is downloading unwanted porn. This is what in an Asian accent. This is what the bloke said to me. I said, oh, yeah. He said, yes. And he started going on. Well, I just let out, I don't know what happened, but I just let a screaming abuse down the phone at him. I was screaming abuse down the phone and then I just put it down. I mean, really, shout. I don't know what, I must have caught me at the wrong moment. I was screaming. I felt sorry for him in the end. Screaming abuse down the phone at this bloke. Because I knew he was a scammer. You see? And it's you won't get me through these scams. I'm very, very wise to it. As indeed most of you are, I'm sure. But you see, an elderly person or someone who's not so clued up about all this business would have done something then. And I don't know where it was going to go, whether he was going to ask you to send money to delete stuff or whether he was going to say, if you give me your computer details, I can clear it from your computer and you'll be safe or something like that, you know. But I knew straight away he was a scammer. Number one, I don't have a BT router. Number two, my internet is not from the BT. So why would BT be ringing me? Exactly. Annette. So you've got to be very, very aware of these scammers. Funnily enough, a little bit later on, I had another phone call from Energy Watchdog or something like that. who also told me that I'd been on their website recently to do an energy comparison, which I have recently. I've done. I change my energy supplier every year, basically. I go on several of them actually. Uswitch, Money Supermarket. There's a few of these energy comparison places. And I type in my bits and pieces and it tells me what's the cheapest energy supplier and I go with them. If you do that yourself, can I just give you a little bit of advice there? You need to tick the box somewhere on the website that says, show me energy companies that I cannot be switched directly or something like that. It's something like that. Because you will get at the top of the list the energy suppliers that the website, either Uswitch, Money Supermarket, Compare the Market, you'll only get the ones at the top that the website can switch you to. Okay? They are not necessarily the cheapest ones. There are others on there and you need to tick the box and then it might come up at the top. This time I've gone with Outfox the Market, I think it's called. Outfox the Market. Okay, and they were one of those that doesn't appear unless you've got that box ticked. So that comes up, you see, and it says, we can't switch you to this supplier. You need to go to them direct. So then you click on the outfoxthemarket.com and you look at that there and then you do it yourself, which isn't that much more difficult, to be honest, if at all. I think you've just got to fill in your details again and that's it. And then it's all taken care of. So I've been doing a comparison site and I do this every year and you go with the cheapest one. There's nothing extra you get from one to the other. You know, just by going with that one doesn't mean you're going to get a free electric kettle through the post, you know, or 2 weeks free electricity because you've switched with them. No, there isn't anything. You simply go with the cheapest one. When it comes to energy, you do this comparison thing every year and you just go to the cheapest one. There's nothing for going, oh, it's an extra £5. I might get something more. No, there's nothing more. There's nothing more. Go with the cheapest one, end of story, right? Anyway, so I've been doing these comparisons and I got another phone call yesterday, which was from, as I say, Energy Watch or something like that. Oh, hello, Mr. Reardon. You've been on our website recently and you were trying to change energy. If I could take some details down for you so we can make sure that our records are up to date. And straight away, without even thinking, I said, no, you sound like I said, who are you? Energy Watch. You were on our website recently. I said, nah, I think you're a scammer, aren't you? You're a scammer. Goodbye. And I put the phone down. That was that. Don't give them the light of day. Because the banks tell you that the bank will never, ever ring you or email you and ask for your password. It will never, ever happen. Okay? So when these other people ring me, I tend to take the same sort of opinion. I had my bank ring me up once. I can't remember even what it was about. It's a few years ago now. And he said, if I could just take your account details. He didn't ask for the password. He said, can I just take your account so I check that I'm ringing the right person? I said, no, you can't. He said, oh, well, why is that then? I said, you might be a scammer. He said, right. Yeah, very good point, sir. Okay, if you could call us back on the main nationwide number and then just ask for this department and you'll be put through to the department and then we can do it like that. And I said, okay then. So I looked up I picked up one of my bank statements. I picked up the bank statement, rung up the number, got through to someone. Oh yes, someone did just try and call you. So therefore you knew it wasn't a scammer. But please, please never ever give details of anything over there. Even if you think they're genuine, you know. Often they're not. I had one definite scammer yesterday and one possible one. It's not worth the hassle. And if you're that worried, if the bank does ring you and you still don't, and you're not worried about, and you're worried about talking to them on the phone, go down there. Go down to your bank, assuming you can, of course. I mean, there's so many of them closing down now. We're lucky in Bracknell. We've got quite a few in Bracknell. We've got Nationwide, not Abbey National. What's it called now? It's foreign, isn't it now? Santander, HSBC, we've got NatWest, we got Barclays. They're all in the town centre. Lots of places don't have a bank. My sister, where she lives in Woodall Spa, there's no bank. There is no bank there. They used to have a small HSBC. That's gone now, replaced by a hole in the wall. And burglars have tried to nick that twice. Honest, I kid you not. The last time, I think my sister, was a few years ago now. It wasn't my sister doing it. No. She just goes up to the machine and whacks it with her hips, and all the money pours out like winning the golden shot. There's a road had been cordoned off there a couple of times, where some lorry has rammed the machine. But they must be put in very well, because they rarely get away with the money, do they? I don't know how they fix those safes and that, in the sides of like a shop or something, at the front of a shop. And you often see them that they've been raided, but they can't get the machine out. They must be fixed in really well, or cemented in, or something like that. Anyway, that was my scamming yesterday. Paul says, I always play with the phone calls. I always get the insurance one. Do you know anyone who's had a car crash? I say, yeah, 3 of the passengers are dead. I know it's bad, but they soon bugger off. I've been really... Can I let you into a secret? I've been really dirty to some of them. Really dirty. I've had someone rung up. One of these car firms or something like that rung up. Oh, have you been in an accident? Yeah, what's your name? Oh, well, I'm Mark, sir. Oh, hello, Mark. I'm Chris. You sound really nice on the phone. Oh, well, anyway, if you've had a car crash, I said, no, don't worry about the car crash. Let me tell you what I'm going to do to you. And then I go into detail and they hang up. They don't ring back. I said that sometimes if you put the phone down, they ring back. If you come out with something like that, they do not ring back. I'm telling you, especially if it's another bloke. Paul says he's been dirty as well. It's funny. Oh, God. Good morning, Claire. Virginia Water, yeah, that's just down the road. Valley Gardens. Thank you, Claire, because I'm looking for something to do this week. Valley Gardens. Got a couple of days. Claire. Oh, I've got something to tell you, Claire, in a minute. Coming on in a minute, all right? Valley Gardens. And where's that? Like Virginia Water. That's only down the road. Have you ever been to the restaurant there? There's Italian restaurant. Le Picasso. Le Picasso. Le Picasso. The Picasso. What's that little flute? Piccolillo? Piccolillo. Might be called Piccolillo. I'm not quite sure, but there's a restaurant there, Italian restaurant there, which is quite nice. It was quite nice. Well, the first time I went in there, it was quite nice. It was me and my mate and his other half. We were there. I think it was a birthday dinner, possibly, something like that. Anyway, so we're in there, possibly a Saturday night, and we were fussed by all these good-looking young lads. Fuss. Can I get you this? Can you get to that? And it was all very nice. The next time we went, we said some old codger with garlic breath breathing over us. Oh, dear. Ross, when he gets one of those dodgy phone calls, he passes the phone over to his kids, and kids make funny noises to the scammers. I love it. Good morning to Tagir, watching on one of the Learn English website groups as well this morning. There's not many of you there this morning. Funnily enough, it was a bit quiet last night. The karaoke, actually, last night. I spent 2 hours once again getting to work last night. Blooming annoying it. Oh, by the way, have you noticed this is the cleaned jacket, Mrs. Tahid, from Crystal Cleaners in Bracknell. Crystal, there's the advert, has done a very, very good job of this. I had lip marks there, I think done by the Lady Phoenix, actually. She put lip marks on there when she tried to kiss me. I think I moved my head away. We can't be kissed with people with breasts. I'm sorry, dear. I will not have people with breasts kissing me. I'm sorry, I draw the line there. It's just wrong. No breasts, please. Ladies, do not put your breasts in my face. I find it offensive. Christina says there's a guy in the UK who sent the telephone advertisers a bill. Oh, that's pretty good. But they're still trying to cut down on this whole cold calling thing and on all that business. It's so annoying, isn't it? It's so annoying. Ross says I trumped down the phone to the scammers. Do you really? And Paul says, I've even used the fart machine app on my phone when they call. You got to get rid of these scammers, I tell you. Good morning, Ross. Ross and Alma are watching this morning. Ross has been coming along to the quiz nights. Are you coming this week, Ross? Ray Reynolds' team will be there, so you got a little bit of competition this week, okay? Quiz night at the King's... Oh, did you see that on the telly last night? Another lad has been stabbed. I think he died just outside Islington Town Hall, which is shockingly close to the King's Head Theatre Bar, where I do the quiz on Wednesday night. Yeah, come along and tour the quiz on Wednesday night, gang. I'll make sure you're nice and safe there. I mean, it can happen anywhere, you know. But, yeah, another one stabbed last night. Another one. And it's just more and more and more, isn't it? Every day. Every day someone's getting killed. Young people. I don't think there's many old people sort of over 30, over 35. They're not the ones who are getting stabbed. It's the young teen, the below 20 years old. It's very sad. Such a young life as well. Young people dying all the time. Awful. Okay. Yeah, I do a quiz night at the King's Head Theatre Bar. That's on Wednesday night. I've got a little poster here. Do you want to see that? There we are. If you want to come along. Free to play. Don't cost you nothing to play if you want to come along and try that one out. And there's a £30 bar tab up for prize at the King's Head Theatre Bar. 115 Upper Street, Islington, every Wednesday night from 8:30 p.m, all right? Ross is on his way to Paris. Bonsoir, mon ami. Comment ça va? Have you got the 3 network? Are you on the 3 network? You get free calls in France and many other countries. I had them on the phone last week, the 3 network, and they've reduced my bill by £5 a month. Oh, yeah, £60 a year, that is. Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, it's only £5 a month. Yeah, that's £60 a year, dear. That's not to be sniffed at. That's almost a meal out for a family at McDonald's now, isn't it? All right. Now, where were I? Yeah, 2-hour journey into work last night. Oh, God. It's all the time a 2-hour journey into work now. But that's, you would just accept that. Bit quiet in there last night. I don't know where everyone was. It wasn't so much quiet on singers. We had sort of 18 singers there last night, which is round about the perfect number. 18 singers is really good because then you're not waiting too long between your songs, you know. But it was empty from non-singing people, if you see what I mean. So I had plenty of singers there, but not many non-singers. I don't think was there any non-singers in there last night. I'm just trying to think now. Yes, there were 1, 2, 3. I can't remember how many others. I mean, Friday was packed as always. Friday is always packed at Central Station. That's in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Again, I do karaoke there Mondays. And Fridays, 8 to 11:30 on Monday, 8:30 to midnight on Fridays. Fridays is very busy, okay? Usually Monday is busy, but not last night. I don't know where they were. Those people that turned up did 3 or 4 songs last night, which is nice. I noticed some of the proper regulars like DJ Chris, Ray Reynolds as always gets there early anyway. Is he with us this morning, Ray Reynolds? I think he said he was going out. I spoke to him before I did the show today. Yeah, Ray Reynolds, he turns up early. And usually throughout the course of the night, I just spend a lot of the time taking the mick out of Ray. And he shouts back to me. If you ever watch our live karaoke streams that we do from Central Station, people say, how do you do that live karaoke stream? That's really good. Well, it costs hardly anything at all. I either do it with my mobile phone, okay, and literally this is on a camera tripod, okay, pointing at the stage. Now, the quality is okay. It's like standard definition on that. Or if I want HD, like this is in HD, okay, if I want HD, then I use a couple of webcams plugged into a laptop. And that's it. And that's on a tripod as well. People think you've got like professional cameras because the webcams these days are very, very good. There is actually now a 4K webcam. It's by Logitech and it's Brio. It's called Brio, I think. Brio. But it's just shy of 200 quid. So that's quite a lot of money to pay for a webcam. Plus, you'd get at the moment I'm having to tether with my phone because the Wi-Fi in the pub keeps dropping out. I don't know why that is, so I'm having to tether it with my phone. So I've only got so much data that I can use on there. I think I've got 30 gig a month, which sounds a lot unless you're video streaming, and then it's not a lot. However, I've got some new equipment. The problem in the pub is with their internet in there. It's the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi keeps dropping out. So I've got coming on the advice of Paul and I think Stuart as well. I've ordered off Amazon. It might come today actually. 2 of these gadgets. One you plug in near the router, okay, and then you take a cable from that to the router, and then another one you plug in to the mains, down at the point where the laptop is, and then you take another piece of wire and plug it from there into your laptop, and that's supposed to give you a direct connection using the mains wiring. So I'm hoping that will sort it out, and then I'll be able to do the HD all the time. But I can only do HD for so many weeks of the month because I keep running out of tethering data, you see, unfortunately. Thank you, Mark. Mark was there last night. Who enjoyed his karaoke. Did you get 2 or 3 songs in yesterday, Mark? Most people got 3 in. I think you got there a bit later. You may only have got 2 in. I can't remember now. Tagir is in Tunisia. Good morning, Tagir. I've never been there. Never been to Tunisia. I'm sure that's a lovely place, isn't it? Hey, is that where they sell the carpets? Do you have lots of carpet to the tourists? You know, big carpets and things like that. I think they sell in Tunisia. Good morning to Joe. He had his birthday the other day. See you pop up there, Joe. Good morning to you, Joe. All right. So that was the job last night. Nice, easy way home as well. Good news. Good news. How many of those emails do you get that annoy you? Do you get, you've signed up to, oh, thank you, Alex. Network plugs are great. Use them in a lot of outside broadcasts. Well, hopefully, Alex, that will sort that out then. I'm hoping that will sort that out. Do you know the plugs I mean? So you plug them into the mains, one that, near the router and one near your laptop. The only thing is it is a pub, so I'm not sure if they've got more than one phase of electricity in there. In which case, I think I'm right in saying, you might know this, Alex, I think I'm right in saying that the power sockets, the power plugs would need to be on the same phase to be able to do this. I'm just assuming that's how that works. I might be wrong. Might be wrong on that. Mark just sung the 2 last night. Yeah, you did have Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Yes. So we just missed that one. Never mind, Mark. Maybe next time. Maybe this time. Yeah. Where are we going now? Let's have a look. Yeah, the emails that annoy you. Good news if you're getting emails that annoy you, from various companies that you've signed up to and you don't know how to stop them. Well, you may have noticed you're now getting a lot of emails from said companies asking you to re-sign up because of this new data protection thing. Here's my advice. Don't re-sign up, and those emails should stop. This is possibly your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity of stopping annoying emails from companies that seem to have permanent sales on. For example, Debenhams. They've got like a permanent sale on there all the time. 20% off it. Every day I get an email from Debenhams, and there's another one. Debenhams and even Ralph Lauren seem to have a permanent sale on now of 20 or 30%, which is great. Which is great. I don't mind the Ralph Lauren. The Debenham ones I'm not so interested in. Housing or settee. I mean, how many settees can one person have in the house? They keep sending these emails. Well, you'll get an email, or you may have had several already, I'm sure you have, telling you that data protection is kicking in or something. And if you want to keep getting the emails, please press here. Don't. And they should stop. This could be your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to stop these emails happening, all right? So just a little bit of thing there for you. Thank you, John. Got to be on the same electrical loop. Yes. And Alex says, yes, got to be on the same circuit. All right. So hopefully the... Actually, it's likely to be, isn't it? It is likely to be on the same circuit. The router plug and the DJ plugs they're sort of not, they're not very high-powered circuits, are they? Don't they put all the fridges and something on one circuit, the heating on another, and that on something else? Yeah, I bet they're probably on the, I hope they're on the same circuit anyway, and that should work really well. So fingers crossed that we can sort out the internet problems in the pub with that. Mark's getting ready to go to work. Have a nice day, sir. Angela has won golf. Oh, Angela, golf. Yes, indeed, golf. I've considered playing that. You can do it cheaply or you can do it very, very expensively, can't you? There's some wonderful golf courses. You see a lot of them on the telly, you know, when they're doing the golf programs and all that. There's a few around here, but horrendously expensive to join. Something like £3,000 a year. And yes, it is beautiful. And you can see where the money is. You know, it's been spent on the landscaping, this, that, and the other. But it's a lot of money. The council run golf clubs as well, which is a fairly cheap thing to do. Good. Ross, don't click any links saying re-sign up to scammers as they are trying to trick people. As they say, re-sign up. Oh yes, of course. I never thought about that. There's another scamming story here actually. Here are in this morning's Daily Mail. A few weeks ago, as the story goes, I broke down in sobs in front of my bank manager. Other customers eyed me curiously as the blood pounded in my ears and nausea crept over me. I'd just been told I was £2,000 overdrawn despite having transferred £4,000 into a new account that day. The day before. No, I wasn't coming to terms with having indulged in a sudden spending spree. I'd been scammed. It's not just pensioners and the vulnerable who feel victim to scammers these days. I'm neither gullible nor a Luddite. Now, I don't consider myself gullible for a scammer. I don't, but I suppose I am, really. Do I know every scam that's out there? No, I think I'm pretty clued up. I can suss people out pretty quickly. I tend to be able to suss out the bull essers of this world. You know, the people that, shall we say, tell you what you want to hear. I can't bear that. People that tell you what you want to hear, you know, to get their own way. And there's plenty of people like that in the world. It says, I thought I'd always be safe from such cons, as I do. I know not to give them bank details over the phone and scoff at emails perpetrating to be from Her Majesty's Revenue or PayPal with links to get your refund now. But what my experience shows is that we all need to be aware that things have moved on from these type of emails. The terms called phishing, the term from which criminals use fake emails or bogus websites. We've since had smishing, which is SMS phishing text messages. So you get a dodgy message, a dodgy text message. Click this link. Don't do it. Okay? And we're now on to vishing, which is phone calls where fraudsters impersonate bank staff so plausibly that they are able to talk you into transferring money into their account. Now, I said to you right at the beginning of the show, the bank is never going to ring you up and ask for a password. So be very, very aware of any bank ringing you up. If a bank rings you up, tell them that you'll go into a branch and do it there. Don't give them any details over the phone. Or if you can't get to the bank, you ask what department they're in, possibly their name as well, and then you look up the bank and phone number in the phone directory. Okay? You ring the bank number and do it that way. If they've made the call, don't give them no information whatsoever. Nothing. It says APP, that's authorised push payment fraud, is one of the fastest growing types of fraud. Now, this is the first I've heard about this, okay? There have been 19,370 reported cases in the past 6 months, with an estimated £101.2 million transferred to fraudsters in that period. It's short APP, okay? So with APP, authorised push authorised push payment, okay? With APP, the average loss to an individual is around £3,000, although these figures are just the tip of the iceberg, as many people don't even report it because they fear they will be ridiculed or dismissed as stupid. Well, you do, don't you? You do feel stupid. The sad fact is, defrauding people like me and you is big business, according to one fraud analyst. These people work for large organisations in an office like yours with a photocopier in a corner and a plant on the desk. These people have got big offices. Millions of pounds are being nicked from us. They're trained how to use sophisticated psychological techniques to exploit consumers and are completely heartless. They are always one step ahead of the banks. Not long ago, I was cooking supper for my teenagers when I received an automated text saying a new phone number has just been registered with my NatWest online account. 5 minutes later, the bank rang. The 0345 number, this is in this morning's Daily Mail, that came up on my mobile's display was the main switchboard number for NatWest. I'd saved it in my phone a while ago, so I could be sure. We suspected some suspicious activity on your account, and I need to check a couple of things with you, said the lady, who introduced herself as one of NatWest fraud investigation team. She sounded a bit like my mum, very well spoken and with a tone that was concerned, yet calm and professional. We noticed a direct debit has been set up for John Lewis for £1,150 and one with the mobile phone network, gift gaff, for £45. My heart began pounding. No, I hadn't set them up. I gabbed. We've noticed an IP address from Bristol has logged into your account a few times. Was it you? Of course, she said no, it wasn't. But I was relieved that my bank was on the case. 4 years later, I'd been scammed when someone got hold of my bank details, possibly by intercepting a statement, and set up a banking app in my name using their own phone number. Whoever it was then told the bank they had lost the bank card and needed to get cash out, so they were given a 4-digit code. You see, then the fraudster then used the 4-digit code instead of a bank card to withdraw money from a branch in North London. Well, they didn't even need the card. I always thought you needed the card to take. I mean, I don't take money out of the bank machine. Fortunately, some of my jobs are cash, you see. So I never ever take money out of a bank machine, but I always thought you had to have card. According to this lady here, you don't always need a card, just a 4-digit number. Because she then says the fraudster then used the 4-digit code instead of a bank card to withdraw money from a branch in North London. I had £2,000 taken out of my bank account, £500 a time over 4 days in this way. NatWest refunded me on that occasion, but it now sounded like fraudsters were back. And the story goes on. NatWest, I switched off the hob and gave the lady on the phone my full attention. I'm aware many emails and phone calls are from scammers, so usually ignore them. But it says on the NatWest's own website, if we hold your mobile phone number, we will send you an SMS to confirm some activities on your account and check that it was you who made the transaction or changed some of the information. If we suspect or become aware that your account may be subject to fraud, we will attempt to contact you. This was my follow-up call from the bank after that preliminary SMS warning, wasn't it? It's usually at this point there in the story that friends ask, but why did you give her your account details? And she goes on, this is the strangest thing about it. I've never given my account details on the phone to anyone. The woman knew all my details already. At no point did she ask for my account number, sort code, or even my name. The only thing she asked for was the first and third letter of my password, just as any bank does during a phone call, and you know this is the case. She was already in my account looking at my transactions. There's one payment to DVLA at the end of December. That was you, was it? Yes. There's a direct debit going out to Wheelston Leisure, and I can see £10 was taken out of a cash point in Central Brighton yesterday. That's fine. That was me, I told her. But as ever, I wanted to err on the side of caution. Sorry, but can I check this is NatWest I'm talking to? Of course, the woman said calmly. We always advise people to call the number on the back of their bank card. I'll call you back in 5 minutes. said the lady. So, the lady rang the number on the back of the bank card from her landline, which corresponded to the number she'd phoned me from, and got through to the familiar NatWest switchboard welcome message informing me that due to high volume of calls, I could be kept waiting longer than usual. Oh, we get that every single time, don't we? Every time you ring someone up now, they're busy. We're sorry, we're busy. The story goes on. Was this deliberate? Did the fraudster know I'd be too impatient to wait? Had I stayed on the line and spoken to an advisor, perhaps the scam would have been unravelled. That said, there are cases of frauders intercepting phone calls. 5 minutes later, she rang and talked me through what NatWest could do to keep my money safe. We were on the phone for 15 minutes as I set up a new safe NatWest holding account under her instruction. I was then given my new sort code and account number and went online to transfer £4,000 into this new account under my name while she remained on the line. I know some of you will be rolling your eyes at this point, but when you are in no doubt you are talking to your bank, you behave exactly as you would if you were in a branch talking to a bank employee face to face. This is in this morning's Daily Mail, okay? Crisis averted. I posted on Facebook later that evening, watch out people, my bank account nearly just got scammed again. NatWest onto it immediately. Phew. How wrong I was. When I went into my branch on Monday, the cashier frowned as she stared at our screen and shook her head. She said, there are no notes on your account. You've made a large transfer, but no new account has been set up. You're overdrawn by £2,000. That's when the bank manager took me aside to explain, and I began to feel like an utter fool. According to a fraud expert, Gary Hemming, commercial lending director at ABC Finance, I shouldn't have been so hard on myself. He said, these days the scripts that people are using are incredibly well honed, as they are usually used by career fraudsters, so predicting whether it's actually your bank you're speaking to or a fraudster is almost impossible. Banks have the technology to stop almost all financial fraud, so now the focus is on fooling the account holder. Fraudsters circumvent the systems to attack the weakest link, which is the consumers themselves. So, you know, there we are, really. I mean, this woman who assumed that she could never be scammed has been done. And I've got to say, I'm one of those people. I don't think you could ever scam me, but looking at that story there, it's still possible to do it, isn't it? Let's have a little look from anyone else. Ross says, don't click on any link saying to re-sign up to scammers. Yeah, I just read that one out. Thank you, Ross. You're absolutely right. Good morning to Childers. Morning, Childers, Jason. Morning. SOS Gregorian says Royal Bank of Scotland and NatWest can give you a 4-digit code to get £50 out, only by authorisation from them if you've lost your code. I didn't know that. Is that quite a new thing, SOS? Is that quite a new thing? So you don't even need a card now. You just ring them up and they give you a code and you get 50 quid out of the machine. That's all right, isn't it? Dear me. I don't know. Anyone else had been scammed at all? Mark says those data protection emails are doing my head in. Yeah, don't answer them, Mark. It might stop some of the emails coming in. Okay. Morning to Alan Russell. Hope you got home all right, Alan, after your little bit of trouble the other night, mate. Rod Brown is in Caister-on-Sea. Good morning, Rod. That's a lovely place, that is, Caister. I'm going up that way again in September. I think I'm going up to Yorkshire sometime in September. Another caravan holiday. Tagir says Tunisia is a very nice place. His name is Mohammed. Sorry, I thought it was Taglir because that's your name coming up there. All right, so thank you very much for that. Now, Claire, I don't know if you're still with us at this point, Claire. But just to let you know, we won't be going back to the pyrotechnic, my darling, all right? There's a little bit of stuff going on there that I wasn't too happy about, so I came out of it. Just to let you know, won't be going back to the pyrotechnic in Nunhead. All right, my love? So don't turn up there next Sunday, although I'm sure they'll probably still have someone. I think the chap running it is looking around, but I decided to pull out of that one for there was a couple of reasons actually. All right, so that's how it is. So I'm exclusive now, exclusive karaoke at Central Station. I've kind of also I've had a bit of a run of bad luck with new karaoke jobs at the moment. None of them starting. You know, they've all gone so far along the line, and then at the last minute, something goes wrong and it doesn't happen. And it's happened so many times that I've decided, for the moment, I'm not going to look around for any more. All right, I've been trying to semi-retire actually for a while, to be honest. I'm having difficulty finding things to do when I've got nothing to do, if you see what I mean. So at night, like tonight. I've got I always got plenty to do during the daytime, whether it's in the garden. I'm going to Slimming World shortly after I finish the show. Possibly to the garden centre today because I want to do my hanging baskets. I've left it a bit late, actually. I tend not to buy... Hanging baskets are extremely expensive to buy ready-made. You can pay 25 quid for a hanging basket, or you can pay 25 quid for loads of little plants and make 6 hanging baskets with all of that. So that's what I do. I've got bags of earth in there. I tend to buy 2 or 3 very large bags of earth once or twice a year, and they sit in there ready for me when I want them. So I'll be making up my own hanging baskets, hopefully this afternoon, which I enjoy doing. It's night time. I find myself struggling to do something at night. I can only watch so much telly. I mean, there's a lot of very good television around, especially since the dawn of Netflix, which has been around, of course, for a few years now. I only signed up for it at the end of last year, and I love the stuff on there. But I can only sit in front of the television for, an hour or 2 at the most. I can't just sit there. I've got to be doing something. And this is my problem. Now, this is why I was looking for work. I was speaking to my friend Danny Gibbs, who's up in Cleethorpes, which is a little bit further up from Grimsby on the sort of east. When I always say right, I think right is west, and it's not, is it? It's east, so right on the east coast. And he was saying, have you thought about doing voluntary work? And funnily enough, I hadn't. He said, well, what would you do? I said, I don't know. I said, quite like the idea of like pushing around sick people in a hospital and pick up all these infections then, wouldn't I? I'll be coughing and spluttering when I'm doing the show. Voluntary work, pushing people around in hospital chairs or something like that. So I might look into doing something like that at night time to keep me busy, because I like to be kept busy. I could come up here and do more shows, but you can only see me so much, can't you? You'd soon get fed up. If I was on here like 24 hours a day, you'd soon get fed up with it. But now and again, you can do an extra one, and I might do one tonight. I don't know. It just depends how it is. So there, I might look for some voluntary work, something like that. But I'm not actively seeking to look for jobs, because it's just a blooming nightmare. It's a blooming nightmare trying to find anything at the moment. Claire says it was an awful place to get. Yeah, sorry about that, Claire. I'll talk to you Friday, darling, and I'll tell you all about that there. Okay? A special constable, Alan. No, I don't think I'd want to be a special constable, really. I mean, although we could do... Alan, you can put your uniform on and come down here one night, could you? Because we got the most horrendous trouble with parking down there. People parking on corners and it's difficult to get round. Are you allowed to put tickets on the cars? Perhaps you could give me a couple to stick on the cars, could you? Could you pop down here one night, Alan? Do the cars in Bracknell? Are you allowed to do that? They don't leave enough gap. It's like a corner like this. I'll have to draw it for you. 1 minute, I'll draw you a little diagram, and then I must go, actually. I must go then. Let's have a look. So here, there's a corner. Hang on a minute. 1 minute. Right. I'm not very good at drawing, to be honest. Okay, here we are. Just drawing a picture now. Okay. So what we've got is cars parked along here. Right, 1 minute. And they're on the pavement. When I say on the pavement, I'm not talking 2 wheels. They think the pavement, well, it's not a pavement, it's like a tarmac, but they think the path is a car parking space. You cannot use the path. End of. It's shocking. And they're just up on it. So we've got all the cars parked up on the path like that. And then we've got, and we've got them parked here like this. And then what happens is that we get them here as well. Right? Right. I'll just draw a little arrow there so you'll know the route I'm going. Here we go. Right, look at this, Alan. Right, so I come down my road like... where is it? I come down my road like that, and I have to go round there. And you can see here, right, can you see how that bit there, right? Often what happens now is that I have to, when I'm coming round, I can't do it. So I get round a bit, then I have to reverse backwards to straighten up to get through the two cars. That can't be legal, surely. That can't be legal. Can you see it? And it's a nightmare, absolute nightmare. It really is. I've rung up the police before, but they say they can't do anything about it. I had someone park in front of the garage once, and I couldn't get out of the garage. I rang up police. They said, "Well, we can't do anything about that. If you ring, this was on a Friday night. If you ring the council on Monday, let them know, and if the car is there still after a week, they will move it." A week? You mean I can't get out of the garage for a week? God's sake, as luck would have it, after I spoke to the police, I went back out and the car had gone. But nevertheless, it's one of those things. Alan, it's out of my region, but I will do some undercover work. Thank you very much, Alan. I shall text you my address, dear. Oh, I shall text you my address. I won't give it out on there because people start turning up and trying to steal things from me, dear. They've got little cuttings, mementos of my house. All right. Okay, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday today to... Here we go. One moment, please. Oh, I'm sorry you had to leave last night early as well, Alan. You weren't far off the list. He sang a song with Maureen last night, which was quite nice. I quite like that song you do with Maureen. It's nice. Where's my birthdays gone? 1 second. I don't know how many we've got today. Oh, it's quite a few today. Look at this. Okay, here comes today's birthdays. Happy birthday to the lovely Vince. Good morning, Vince. Hope you're well. Karaoke superstar Vince. Happy birthday to you. Nathan Matthews. Happy birthday to Nathan. To James Keogh. Good morning, James. 40 today, dear. Life begins at 40. No, it doesn't. It's 50. You've got another 10 years to wait, mate. All right. Happy birthday, James. Alan Jackson is a young 60 years old today. Michy Moo. Happy birthday. Dieter Stemmer. Happy birthday. Adam Wolstenholme. Good morning, Adam. From CMP. Happy birthday, Adam. Stuart Tyler, who we worked with at a place in King's Cross, is 37 years old today. Happy birthday, Stuart. Andrew Armstrong, 38 today. Andrew. Do you remember Andrew used to do the till at a place called the Long Island Tea Shop, and I would sit next to him DJing. Oh my God, we have some stories to tell you. Happy birthday, Andrew. And J.R. Bennett. Good morning, J.R. Bennett. 43 today. Oh, God, so old, dear. I remember you coming to the Black Cup and dancing on that little stage. I hope you're well, J.R. All right, darling, I hope you're well. It's been a while since I saw you. Let's do the birthday. I nearly hit the closing film then instead of the birthday tune. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. There's our little birthdays for today. Thanks very much, boys and girls. I must get off now. I'm going to jump on my bike and go to Slimming World for today's weigh-in. I'm expecting and maintain this week at 12 stone 2 pounds. If I get 12 stone 2 pounds, I'll be happy. If it's lower than that, I'll be ecstatic. If it's 12 stones 2 pounds, I'll be happy. If it's gone up a bit, I won't be so happy. If it's gone up more than a pound, I will be depressed. Right, see you again at some time soon, possibly tonight even, if not around about 9:30 tomorrow morning. Thanks so much for watching and listening to the show. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.